Hey, what's going on, everyone? We're back with part two of the truck stop documentary here. We're going to go ahead and jump right into it. I thank you for taking your time to watch my video, and if you could subscribe to my channel, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if any of this stuff you've experienced, this is a video from 2007. If you've experienced any of this stuff that's no longer a common practice thing, let me know. I'd love to chat with you guys in the comment section. All right, let's get into it. We left off where we're talking about the idle air system and it's switching to the APU system.
If you idle one of these big engines, you're going to use up to a gallon of fuel an hour. With an APU, you're going to be maybe 1 quart an hour, and you will achieve the same thing.
These portable power systems installed right onto the truck have enabled some rigs to become downright lavish.
Yeah, so this is about where we left off in the last one. We're jumping into a super sleeper and seeing what's in there, and it's quite lavish.
My favorite thing in this truck is my fireplace.
These super sleepers are incredible, though.
It's just so cozy, and I love to read. Keeps you nice and warm. It just feels like you're at home.
Yeah, in the last video we looked at, they were talking about the fuel systems. If you want to go take a look at that and you haven't seen that one already, I'll leave a link up above, a card to go back and watch that one. But they were talking about the fuel systems, and we figured out that it was about $2.66 a mile. And I'm guessing with fuel prices like that, you can actually take some time and sit back and read. Other than that, it's grab a bite to eat, take a shower, go to bed, do it again in the morning.
Truckers have traveled a long, hard road getting to a luxury sleeper like this one.
Yeah, those super sleepers are crazy. I don't know if they're going to go into it or not, but they have sink, stove, refrigerators, bathroom, shower, huge beds, cabinets out the wazoo. It really is a camper on wheels that you can actually make some money with. They're pretty crazy. The only downside is they're so dang big, and you actually have to have special tires in order to meet regulations as far as weight and whatnot. And that's another issue too, is loads that you would normally be able to carry with your average truck, you can't carry as much on these
Trucks had room for beds,
unless you add axles and all that.
sleep where they worked.
The driver really had nothing available to him. Laying a board across both seats in the early days and sleeping on that was fairly common practice.
Before AC, no thank you. I don't envy you old folks that survived without AC. Sorry for calling you old. Senior people that have survived without AC. I can't stand when the AC goes out on the truck.
Goodyear introduced the first sleeper cab.
They were very small at first. Basically, it was just a bed. And as the years go by, the manufacturing of truck companies started making bigger and bigger sleepers.
Right.
You know, basically just a place for a TV and a bigger bed, some storage.
Yeah, I mean, if you're smart, there's enough room to have a microwave, refrigerator, all that stuff, to where you can even cook in the truck, hook up to your APU or your inverter. Plug in an electric skillet, cook up some food in the truck, a crock pot while you're running down the road. You could do quite a lot. I couldn't imagine just a bed. A lot of the cab over trucks are still just the bed.
Truck stops.
And some of the older trucks too.
Some drivers have taken their sleepers to the extreme with custom upscale compartments, like this big bunk, manufactured at ARI Legacy Sleepers in Shipshewana, Indiana.
A Shipshewana. I thought it was in Elkhart, which is still pretty close to where I grew up, probably about 45 minutes to an hour. I grew up in LaPorte, Indiana, so they make a lot of campers and stuff over there. Elkhart's pretty big on campers, but I guess Legacy Sleeper was in Shipshewana.
Fully equipped with a space-saving shower and toilet combo. Talk
That's
about
crazy.
multitasking.
I love the toilet in the truck because then I don't have to go to rest areas, and I love the shower. I have about a 40-gallon tank, and so I can have one every day. This here has
Yeah, I could do without the shower, but honestly, having a toilet in the truck would be incredible. No more trying to find a spot when you ate some Taco Bell for lunch and it's peeking out. You just park the truck wherever and head to the back. That would be amazing. The shower, meh, I'm okay going inside. That doesn't bother me.
Water off, but yet keep the temperature of the water.
Having your own private restroom isn't the only perk in these digs.
We also have what we call the bed dinette. It just folds back down and you have a 48-inch mattress to sleep on. We have a sink with solid surface countertop, hot and cold running water. We also have an electric 2-burner stove in this unit.
That's
And over
incredible.
here we have a refrigerator and freezer with a microwave convection oven. You can actually bake cookies in this.
You're kidding.
We also have a 26-inch LCD widescreen TV with surround sound. And when you're ready to go back to work, just step up into the business center.
Yeah, that's one perk in general, just being a truck driver in general, whether you have, super sleeper like this or if you have a regular sleeper, having your bed at your office to where you don't have to wake up groggy in the morning, get up and get ready and then drive 20, 30 minutes to your job and, make sure you're there early on time. You're running late, you sleep till about 5 minutes, 10 minutes before you need to take off, run inside, use the bathroom, brush your teeth, and hit the road. Yeah, that's definitely a perk of being a truck driver.
ARI's standard 132-inch long sleeper will run you about $70,000.
$70,000. Oh my gosh. Just for curiosity's sake, let's go ahead and escape out of this and see what they're running now. Here's one 2023, $260,000. 2015 is 105. That's the closest, and that's coming up here on 10 years old. Let's see if we scroll down a little bit further here. Oh, here's a 2023 W900 for $287 or best offer. Again, these are asking prices, so it's not necessarily what it sold for. And here we go, a 2023, another W900 for $305,000. We got a huge difference in price. That's absolutely crazy to see. I guess that's why it's matching up with the fuel prices. It is expensive to be a trucker, just in case you aren't getting the picture yet. All right, let's carry on.
Maybe that's why less than 1% of truckers currently enjoy the creature comforts they offer.
Right. Yeah, I worked at a company a while back, and they reserved those super sleepers. They had a couple of them that they reserved those for husband and wife teams. They were on the road all the time, nonstop. Kids are grown. That they take the holidays off, and that's about it.
Luxury sleepers or more modest rigs. Truck stops continue to sprout up across America. And it's no easy task to create the supersized equipment that keeps them trucking along. Every night, more than 250,000 truckers pull into truck stops for refuge. And every one of them needs a place to tuck in his rig for the night. But there's a problem. Truck stops in many U.S. states don't have enough parking space. So engineers are busy at work developing new sites. They're built from below the ground up.
So even back in 2007, there wasn't enough parking spots for trucks, and there still isn't enough parking spots for trucks. You'll see them parked on the shoulder of the road or by a rest area or whatever. At nighttime, everything is slam packed. If you don't have a spot by, I'd say 8 o'clock, you're going to be hard pressed to find a spot.
With the most indispensable assets of any truck stop, the diesel tanks.
Here on my left is an 8-foot diameter, 10,000-gallon fuel storage tank, typical of what you would find at your neighborhood gas station. Compared to that, on my right is a 30,000-gallon tank that is typical of a truck stop. This tank is 20 feet longer in length. It's 2 feet larger in diameter. It's a 10-foot diameter tank, and it's triple the capacity.
That's crazy. But again, trucks use significantly more fuel than what cars do.
Tank manufacturing fabricators construct these 30,000-gallon double-walled truck stop tanks, one piece at a time.
What you see going on behind me.
Yeah, so cars have anywhere between like a 15 or even a 12 to a 20, 25 gallon tank on the vehicle. Trucks have 75 on each side or 100 on each side, So, you know, you're looking anywhere between, you know, 150 to 200 gallons of fuel on a truck that really only gets you about a day, day and a half, depending on how hard you drive.
Is the rotation of our steel mandrel, which
And
is
that's
the
just for
basis
one truck.
of tank forming. We apply resin, glass fibers, and treated silica to build a composite laminate that is formed on this mold in multiple passes.
Next, fabricators add plastic reinforcing ribs to the mold. Wrapped with the same fiberglass materials, these ribs give the tank all the strength it needs for its long life underground. After the tank sections are cured, workers pull them from the mold,
You know, it's funny.
seal them together.
Bet money a truck driver brings the tank to the truck stop.
Any leak could prove environmentally disastrous.
Wow, she's
Since the
inside of it?
tanks a typical truck stop dispense a whopping 1 million gallons of diesel over the course of a month.
1 million
Pumps
gallons a
tapping into
month.
them fuel 4 times faster than those at a neighborhood gas station.
So 4 times faster, okay.
In a kind of mechanical
Yep.
symbiosis, completed tanks make their way to the truck stop on the beds of trucks. Once they're buried, the tanks are far from out of mind. Engineers can keep tabs on them using a monitoring system linked to this panel installed on the surface.
What this device is called an automatic tank gauge. And what it has is a series of probes and sensors that are in various portions of the underground storage tank system.
Okay.
Every tank has a probe in it that measures the inventory levels in the tank. The probe is basically an aluminum tube that is the entire diameter of the tank. And they have a float that moves up and down on the probe.
Okay, so similar to a
System
car.
also has sensors installed within the double wall containment that detect any liquid leaking from the interior tank.
Oh, no kidding. So it's got leak protections too. So if the center tank is leaking, then, you know, it's got sensors. That's pretty cool. Yeah, but the float thing is really similar to cars and trucks where they, you know, your fuel gauge. Similar concept.
Probes and sensors are hardwired to the console that analyzes and records the data. If the system senses a leak, an alarm will direct technicians to the problem.
In the past, maybe the operator would go out once a day and stick the tank with a tank stick. Now it's all done electronically. This measures the tank level down to hundredths of an inch.
That's pretty cool.
On the pavement above the fuel tanks, truck stop designers face another problem: making sure the swarm of big rigs can get in and out of the area efficiently. Like a parking lot for cars, truck stop parking lots are divided into parking spaces and drive aisles. But
Right.
the drive aisles are more than double the width. As much as they'd like to, truck stop designers can't make the aisles much wider than that because they have to optimize the available space.
Yeah, but you also got to make
solve
sure
the
trucks aren't
problem
running
is to
into each other.
understand a big rig's off-tracking or turning ability. When a car makes a turn, it follows only one path.
Yeah, this is a good point to look at. We talk about it a lot in the accident reactions, off tracking. So let's go ahead and take a look at this and keep it in mind if you're watching this and watch some of the crash reactions when I'm talking about the off tracking. This right here is what I'm talking about.
But when a tractor-trailer turns, the front wheels of the tractor follow one path, and the rear wheels of the trailer take a
Right.
completely different path toward the inside of the turn. The distance between these two paths, or the
Yeah, also, these don't follow the same path either. Your drive axles do not follow the same path as your steer. You can tell that when you're driving in snow.
tracking.
If you're going straight, they do, but when you're turning.
The length of the trailer, and the speed of the truck. Knowing this, truck stop designers are able to maximize the parking lot space.
If they can't park, they can't use the facility. And what's very important, once that driver comes on, they're going to stay at our location for half a day.
That's because federal law specifies mandatory rest periods for truckers. After driving 11 hours, truck drivers must pull off the road and rest their weary eyes for 10 consecutive hours.
Right.
Few truck stops come.
And just to be clear, I mean, obviously you need to follow the rules, and ELD's pretty much done away with doing anything more anyway. Me personally, I've never had an issue with the hours of service because after 11 to 14 hours of working, I'm beat. I'm ready to go to bed. And 10 hours, frankly, I don't always feel like is enough. You got 2 hours of relaxed time, get your shower, get something to eat, unwind a little bit, and then you got your 8 hours of sleep. And after that, you got to get back up and do it again. All right, let's carry on. Sorry, rant over.
Better equipped to meet their needs than Travel Centers of America, or TA.
One of the big dogs.
Very large properties. Now, typical.
And I want to say that
TA
the world's
is-
largest truck stop that's in this video is owned by Petro TA as well. And I think most of the major ones, the mega truck stops, are.
About 25 acres. We take that survey and we put it onto a CAD, a computer-aided design, and we're able to maximize all parts of the location.
During the planning of this TA in
Lodi, Ohio, I believe. Let me make sure I'm right. And then I'm going to tell you a little story about Lodi, Ohio.
This TA in Lodi, Ohio.
Yeah.
Designers considered every detail.
So these showers over here. Okay, quick story time if you're interested. If not, fast forward a little bit. So I was going into this truck stop. I actually worked for a trucking company out of Akron, Ohio, and that was the same one that had the super sleepers as well. But working over there, I went over to grab a drink before I got back on the road after stopping by the terminal there for a little bit, and stopped and grabbed a bite over here. And there was a truck over in one of the parking spots, and there was a bunch of cops around the truck. So with all those cops around the truck, my mind obviously goes to the worst possible spot, or at least I think so. And that guy got caught up with a lot lizard or something like that, and they're raiding his truck, and they're going through it, and he's already gone off to jail, and so is the little miss of the night. It was early in the morning, so I wasn't really lining the pieces up there, but I swore he got busted with a lot lizard. Well, I walk up and there's somebody standing outside the door at the truck stop on the driver's side. I said, "Hey, do you know what happened over there?" And, just being a nosy butt. And he said, "Well, the truck driver had a heart attack in the shower and died." I don't know if you know this about truck stop showers, but they lock and you can be in there for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. Most people aren't going to bother you. So I'm sure he was sopping wet by the time they found him. And it was absolutely crazy. But yeah, I don't remember what shower number it was, or I didn't ask about that. Crazy.
The number one thing that comes up anytime we ask the drivers.
And then I felt bad about thinking that he was hooking up with a lot lizard.
Is
Good old
just
sleeper
give me
leaper.
A nice, clean, well-designed shower and restroom.
And these real marble showers are not only high class, but also high tech.
Driver number 144, shower number 7 is now ready.
In the not so old days, drivers would have to line up to grab a spritz. Now they can order a shower in advance at the same place they fuel up. And with the purchase of 50 gallons of diesel, the shower's on the house.
Yeah,
Customers been on the road for many, many.
depending on the location, it's 50 gallons or 70 gallons. But it depends on wherever you go. And if you're driving, you should be able to get that. And most of the time, you'll have a few different, fuel ups or whatever, unless you're showering absolutely every single day, which you might. But nevertheless, this is why I'm saying get your rewards cards from the truck stops, whether it's the TA, the Petro, Pilot, Flying J, Loves, whatever it is. Get your rewards cards. This way, when you're fueling up there, you get a free shower, you get points, you get a drink refill, whatever they offer. Each one offers its own thing. And if you're up on new technology and stuff, go ahead and get the apps for them too, because a lot of times they offer coupons in the apps to where you can reduce some of the cost of living on the road.
Hours. All they want to do is park their truck and be refreshed. And
Right.
to be able to take care of that driver very, very quickly, that's important.
TA has been innovating for 35 years. The company began as Truck Stops of America in the early 1970s, as the mystique of the trucker began to grow.
Truckers were seen as the last American cowboys. They were these loners out on the road, and truck stops were where you could, mingle with them.
Ooh, doing some mingling.
Motorists started pulling off the interstates to check out the trucker's lifestyle. Truck stop owners realized they had been missing out on something big: the business of the average Joes. Truckers may be a truck stop's bread and butter clients, but they represent only 20% of highway traffic.
That's crazy.
The other 80%, truck stops now call themselves travel centers.
Trucks go in a completely different entrance, usually around back. And that's where the diesel is, that's where the trucker's entrance is.
And that world is where the truck itself goes to the doctor.
Yeah, so if you're driving a car, be mindful of that, especially if you're going back into the truckers area. They're moving around. They're expecting to see, trucks, not cars. But I get it if you're bringing your trucker husband or your trucker wife or whatever, a friend to the truck stop, or you're delivering DoorDash or whatever, and you have to go back there. It's not a big deal. Just be cautious when you're driving around, that's all.
As a leading truck service provider, TAs come equipped with computer diagnostics. Their technicians can plug into the truck's onboard system to pinpoint problems.
If the driver is complaining that something is wrong with the truck, I can click on fault codes and see if there's any fault codes coming up. There is a ECU, which is the Engine Control Unit 128, and it's a PID, and it's a parameter identifier, and the ID is 111, and it's coolant level.
So basically, he hooked the computer up to the truck because he needs to put some coolant in, which you could see on the side.
The technology has advanced so much that technicians can actually take control of the truck with their PCs.
What I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on the bulkhead module, and the bulkhead module is the brains of the truck.
A click of the mouse can operate the windshield wipers.
And you can see the wipers
That's
are working
cool.
on low. And it's also giving me an amp output as to how much amperage is drawing. If the amperage is too much, I can see it on the screen, indicating there's a problem.
With innovative tech like this available at truck stops, drivers can get a quick fix on their rig and keep on rolling.
Yeah, that's about all TA Petro, all the truck stop shops. That's about all they're good for, is a quick fix. If it's anything major, they're not going to be able to do anything about it. So tires, lights, small issues like that, inspections, your DOT inspections, and oh my gosh, what am I thinking of? Your PM service, oil change, all that stuff, tires. That's fine to do over there at the truck stops. Anything much more major than that, they'll ship you off somewhere else to have it done. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and stop there for this one. This was part 2. Stay tuned for part 3. I'm going to jump into recording that one right now, and it'll be out shortly after this one gets posted. So if you haven't seen the first episode of this already, I'll leave it down in the description below. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my video. If you could subscribe to my channel, I greatly appreciate it. All right, thanks. Bye.